tuning in live to another episode from Kiever's Production. My name is Eddy Acosta.
And I'm Giraliz, Grullon.
And today we're going to be talking about a couple different things. First and foremost, we are going to highlight one of the fundamental elements that is a part of the foundation of our country. Is our healthcare system enough?
Is it?
Do we have enough of a budget to support every single citizen in our nation? Could we survive a pandemic mentally, financially? Would it destroy our economy? Put us in a recession? Are we potentially going to be in the roaring 20s again? What decides, better yet, who decides if healthcare is a privilege or a right? So before we can answer the question, is healthcare a right or a privilege, we must first understand what the healthcare system consists of. Healthcare involves the participation and hard work, good moral decision-making of doctors, nurses, hospitals, drug companies, medical equipment companies, as well as pharmacists.
Let's just not forget that right are not something given by the government to the people. Right are actually something guaranteed not to be taken away from the people by the government.
The healthcare system in America is a commodity for some, as well as an entitlement for others. Ranging what kind of service you receive, as well as what is in your accessibility range, all depends on where you come from, how financially stable you are.
There are many people within the world, especially in the healthcare system and in the healthcare field, expecting some type of compensation for products and services they provide.
For one to have healthcare, you have to have a job. We need to continue to cultivate this environment, giving us the opportunity to have health.
Where do you have access in healthcare? Healthcare is a privilege afforded to those who have insurance or are enrolled in a government plan. Either of those situations are equal to a right, as your insurance policy can end and the government plan can cancel.
Healthcare is a privilege to those who can afford it, either by paying for it directly as the individual or paying indirectly through an insurance company or the government.
So, you need healthcare, you need healthcare, I need healthcare, right? But we need food too, right? Or don't we don't eat? You have the right to obtain food, but not at the expense of others or one another.
Okay. We have the right to eat or have healthcare, but not at the expense of another person. A privilege is a special right, advantage, or immunity granted or available only to a particular person, group of people, etc. I doubt anyone here would seriously suggest that all these individuals and organizations work for free.
I don't think they do.
I don't believe they do either. Doctors need to eat as well. Where you don't have access paid for by your insurance or government, healthcare is a privilege to you.
So what's going on today in today's world, today's society? Everybody's going through it mentally, emotionally, financially. Doctors, teachers, students, parents, everyone in the world is going through this epidemic of the coronavirus. And it's affecting especially the hospitals and medical fields.
Healthcare service providers and workers are expected to provide testing to anyone who seeks aid. But let's think about this for a second. Is it realistically possible to support and provide the aid citizens need when a crisis like this arises? Is it ethical to say no to someone just because you're not able to provide a service?
Everybody goes through a lot, you know? And I just feel like, as mentioned before, if you do have a government plan or anything else given to us, it's a luxury, it's a privilege to have.
The CEO of Boston-based telemedicine company Amwell said this. You can get the technology to support these astounding volumes, but you're very quickly getting to a point where the supply of medical services isn't there. We need to have enough clinicians to allow us to handle the incoming volumes. It's unfortunate how this has definitely affected our economy and our nation as a whole. A lot of inflated prices, supply and demand, and it's definitely having a backlash on us.
Statistics shows that 93.7% of all Americans have health care. It shows that although there are certainly segments of population without coverage, the vast majority do have health care.
Back to our question that we asked at the beginning. Is healthcare a right or a privilege? Healthcare is not a natural part of life. Whether it be a disease or a sickness, those are part of life. That's natural. Human species has now, to this day, overpopulated the earth. It is the same way why we have food shortages in some areas of the country. It's the same reason why some areas of our country are overly saturated. It would make more sense for us as a country to make healthcare a privilege to those who can afford it rather than be a right for everyone. Yes, this might seem harsh at first, but if we allow this luxury to be accessible to everyone, we'll either find ourselves unable to support our economy much longer, or we're going to have to rewrite our entire system from the judicial standpoint to the healthcare standpoint, because everything flows into one another. It's one big pot, and any little thing can make the crack pot. It may seem harsh, but it's not fair to those, and it's not fair to those who are not so fortunate. But nobody said life was fair. And whether we like it or not, that's the truth. Thank you for tuning in.